Good morning. By 2025, the US-China trade situation has boiled over into a full-blown trade war. It's not just about more of those heavy import tax or tariffs on goods anymore. They are now fighting hard over key areas like advanced tech and essential critical minerals that our modern world needs. This is a massive shake-up, folks, really changing global trade and how industries worldwide are set up.
The United States-China trade war flared up again dramatically this February. On February 1st, 2025, President Trump hit all Chinese goods with a new 10% tariff, citing trade imbalances and national security. But China's response was swift and broad, coming just 3 days later on February 4th. They didn't just go to match tariffs. They imposed a 15% tariff on United States coal and liquefied natural gas, and a 10% on American crude oil, agricultural machinery, and large cars. But beyond these tariffs, Beijing also targeted specific companies. They added PVH Corporation and Illumina to their unreliable entity list. Plus, they launched an antitrust investigation into Google. So this wasn't just about tariffs, it was a multi-front retaliation, marking a very intense start to this new chapter of the trade conflict.
So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart.
习近平主要是要喊话中欧之间应该要加强合作，还强调打关税战是没有赢家的，与世界作对呢将孤立自己。70多年来，中国大陆的发展始终靠的是自力更生、艰苦奋斗，也不靠谁的恩赐，更无畏惧任何的无理打压。这是来自于中国大陆的最新回应。
Following the February flare-up, the trade war escalated dramatically through March and April. This was all about rapidly climbing tariffs. So on March 3rd, President Trump added another 10% to tariffs on Chinese goods, pushing the total to 20%, and China quickly hit back, targeting US agricultural products with a 15% tariff. But April saw an even wilder escalation. On April 2nd, Trump announced a massive 34% tariff hike, bringing the cumulative rate on Chinese imports to 54%. Beijing didn't flinch, matching it with a 34% tariff on all US goods. And just a week later, by April 9, things went sky high. The US had jacked up tariffs to an astonishing 145%. China's counter was a staggering 125% across American products, a truly breathtaking escalation of tariffs in just a few weeks.
美国总统川普正式宣布对台湾课征32%的对等关税。财经专家认为，台美贸易顺差大是川普加重关税的主因。对等关税实施后，台湾出口导向的产业首当其冲，包含电子、机械、金属、原物料等项目都受影响。
这个产业本身是不是有在美国来进行生产跟投资？那如果有的话，其实相对来说，它受关税的影响，相对来说在转单过去的效应就会稍微的降低。
川普还提到，台积电赴美设厂是为了避免关税，但有半导体业者指出，台积电生产的晶片不一定都会直接出口到美国，加上美国此次课征的关税是针对所有商品，因此不管课不课晶片税，内含晶片的伺服器、笔电等 ICT 终端产品还是要课，冲击恐怕不小。
The escalating tariffs have had significant repercussions on global markets. Investors expressed concerns over the escalating tensions, leading to volatility in stock markets worldwide. This uncertainty has created a climate of caution, with many analysts predicting continued fluctuations as the trade war unfolds. Economists warn that prolonged trade disputes could disrupt global supply chains and hinder economic growth. The interconnected nature of the modern economy means that these tariffs affect not only the United States and China, but also ripple outwards, impacting businesses and consumers all around the globe. We're seeing businesses reassess their strategies, looking at diversing supply chains to mitigate risks, and this could lead to significant shifts in how international trade is conducted.
Significant development, the United States and China agreed on May 12, 2025 to a 90-day reduction in tariffs to de-escalate tensions. US will lower tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% to 30%, while China will reduce tariffs on American imports from 125% to 10%. This agreement was reached during talks in Geneva and is seen as a step toward resolving the ongoing trade conflicts. So the decision to step back from the brink reflects a recognition of the severe economic consequence of continued escalation. However, this is just a temporary measure and the underlying issues remain. The global community is now watching closely to see if this 90-day window will lead to a more lasting resolution or if it's merely a brief pause in the conflict.
As the 90-day period unfolds, stakeholders worldwide will be closely monitoring further negotiations between the United States and China. The outcomes of these discussions will be critical in shaping the future of global trade. Will this temporary reduction in tariffs pave the way for a comprehensive agreement, or is it merely a brief respite before renewed escalation? The implications are far-reaching, affecting businesses, consumers, and economies all around the globe. We'll continue to provide updates and in-depth analysis on this developing story, keeping you informed as events unfold and their significance becomes clearer in the coming weeks or months.